The parable and what's up, family? I'm J. Dwayne Garnett with Love is a Parable, and we are actually on location. You saw the beautiful form in the beginning? Well, we're here at Ramble Real. So I'm here with Darren, or Farmer Darren. Is that what you go by?
Farmer D sometimes.
Farmer D?
Yeah.
I like it. So tell people about you and tell them a little bit about Ramble Real, and then I'll ask you a couple of questions.
Awesome. Yeah. I am actually a trained neuroscientist and just retired from the University of North Carolina, and I'm switching my perspective, if you will, and my day-to-day activities to focus more on our farm here in Hillsboro. It's a farm that we envisioned perhaps as early as 2008 and got started with building our barn and getting our fields growing in 2010, and it's been a one project per year every year since then, and meeting new people, joining the community, and looking forward to what 2022 and 2023 looks like.
Okay, so Ramble Real is a manifestation of something you've been planning since 2008.
We've been building it since then, a little bit every year. You know how things go. Can't do everything all at once, especially with farming, especially when I was full-time working at the university, and Jane was actually full-time working in her own business at the same time for a while before she came out here full-time.
Okay.
And so now that we're together since June of this year, pushing everything forward together, we can say we've got two full-time hands here now finally.
Got you. Well, Jane is his wife, guys, in case you don't know. And if you see anything darting past the screen, that might be her. She's like literally the fastest woman I've ever met. So tell me a little bit about the name. How did we come up with this name for the farm?
Ramble Real, we were looking for a name that was unique. I think you admit that it's unique. It may even be seemingly weird. But we looked at things like Wildflower Farm, and it turns out there's 37 of those in the country. We didn't want that. We couldn't get the domain name. We couldn't, get all that. And so we learned that a small intermittent name in an archaic British Isle language, if you will, is a rill.
Okay.
A stream, an intermittent stream. And then, of course, it rambles across our farm behind us. So it became Ramble Real. And goodness knows, there was no Ramble Real anywhere else in the country.
Yeah, you're the only Ramble Real I know.
So that's how it stuck, simple as that.
Oh, love it. So for guys who don't know, that Ramble Real is also our season sponsor as well. So we're gonna make sure that you guys know a lot about the different things that are coming up. Matter of fact, after the show, we'll be sure to show you a series of events that they have coming up. So when you started this farm, what was the heart behind the farm? Because it's not an average farm. Y'all have events going on here. It's not just out here plowing and having, some agriculture. You're really incorporating a lot of things. So,
right. Yeah, there's a lot of things that came together to kind of build the mission, spirit, and values of this place. And over time, we sort of were interested in, initially, just growing our own food. Not really big fans of big ag, not really big fans of industrial food, things like that.
Gotcha.
And that was a personal thing for both of us to get into that. And Jane was leaning more and more towards vegetarianism, and eventually became completely vegetarian. And so growing our own food became more and more important there in that space. And then ultimately we learned about organics, certified organic status, and we said, well, that fits with what we're about. So we pursued getting our certification for our organics. And then as we began to think about ourselves more, we began looking outward a little bit and saying, okay, how can we connect with the community about this stuff? And we began going to farmers markets and teaching the story of what we're about and providing fresh, certified organic produce. And so that was another piece of it. And then we said, well, what about if we bring some of that online or to our farm?
Right.
Bring it home, if you will. And that's where the events things started happening. We can bring people in for a variety of reasons, to buy things, to attend events, to have their own dances, whatever it may be. But then we sell them the story, if you will, more than we sell them the vegetables, just to have them connect with our farm, to further define our farm as something different than a grocery store, something different than even some other farms. Eventually COVID hit, and we really had to redo things, rethink things, and we went online, literally online, to get our sales switched over in 2020. And at that time we said, well, now what happens to our community outreach? Well, it took a hit. But eventually, through the pandemic, we began thinking about, okay, now it's time to open back up again to in-person sorts of conversations and visits and so on. We've had a lot of events since then, from arts groups to Love's Apparel and other groups here that we're just thrilled about. And that's kind of where we are today, is expanding all of that.
Love it. So now I'm going to shift gears just a minute, just for a second. What do you want to be most known for in this earth? How do you want to leave your presence?
We want to leave many things behind, if you will. Perhaps the most philosophically challenging one is that we want to leave breadcrumbs for humanity to find its way back after we're gone. If you will, that's a tough one. We can develop that one a little bit. But we want to leave this land, this space. It's land that we currently are occupying. It's land that we are currently working, preserving, protecting. But we want to make sure that it's here forever, and that the spirit of the place lasts, and the dirt lasts, the soil lasts. We're actually trying to expand the farm so we can put more land ultimately in the long term, even after we're gone, into a conservation so that it's preserved actually forever, and hopefully preserved for farming forever. Beyond that, I guess personally, we like to think that we connected with community in a pretty intentional way, whether it be through the arts, through food, through expanding not only our farm, but expanding our farm's influence and all that went into that. Hence the connections we're making this year and hopefully in the next with a variety of groups.
Wow, I'm gonna tell you now, breadcrumbs for humanity to find its way really stuck with me, because one of the foundational principles of Love is a Parable, a lot of people don't know unless they take one of the classes, is returning. And so it's so aligned with our mission because we help people return back to them. And so a lot of times we live life as a product of interactions and responses. So based on how people treat us or how people tell us we are, we tend to believe that's our identity, when we're really something outside of that. And we want people to, strip themselves of all of that and return to their organic self. Because I feel like sometimes we lose ourselves and who we're expected to be versus who we're created to be. So you really tapped into something that we're passionate about.
Yeah, the truth of who we are is the most powerful thing, and that it happens to resonate with the common word organic. That's no loss. I didn't lose that. But there's truth in food created well.
Right.
And that's something that sticks to us.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people want to connect with you. What's the best way to connect with you, Farmer D, Farmer Jane, Ramble Real?
We're easy to find on the internet, ramblerealfarm.com. We have our emails there, our phone numbers are there. The Facebook page, Ramble Real Farm, is easy to access. So I think those are the easiest ways. Instant Messenger. We even have an Instagram page, which we're not using very well. And all of those things.
We're going to change that up. At least you're doing good with Facebook. We're going to change it. So guys, if you haven't had a chance, make sure you check out all the things Ramble Real, and we'll be sure to include more of that information. Farmer D, thank you for taking the time out with us. Thank you for being a season sponsor, and we'll be connecting soon.
Thank you, Jay Dwayne.
What's going on, guys? What's up, family?
What's up, everybody? I don't even know. I can't even say it to Brother Retirement thing. We gotta come with something new.
Brother Retirement, go.
Yeah, I'm saying I can't even. It's Thursday. You know what time it is?
We don't do that anymore.
I'm just saying, like,
It's what's up, family, when everyone brings something to the table.
that's true. Now I gotta do that.
The cool thing about what's up, family, is one, it has given us time to rest.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
It's given us time to rest. It also gives us time to do things that we really want to do.
Not that we didn't miss y'all.
Yeah, we miss all of you. I miss you guys because it's been almost 3 months. Because you were having too much fun.
Yeah. I mean, I don't say too much fun, but yeah, those Thursdays be like,
Okay, Felicia said this sounds a little crispy. Okay, let's see. What about now? Does that sound better? Does that sound better? We don't try to be able to hear us. sound better? What about now? She said, no, it doesn't sound good at all. She said it's echoing and a little blurry. Hmm. Oh, she said, yes, it's good. Not so good yet with the audio. Yep. Yes, good.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I guess it's a little.
It probably was a little delayed. Okay. Well, the cool thing is, guys, this is giving us an opportunity to get out more, venture more, but connect more with our Love is a Parable family. We didn't have that opportunity before, and now we really do get that opportunity now to go out into the community and connect with people.
Yeah. As you just saw.
That's- okay. So one of the things that I have been doing since we took that break. First, it was finding patience. So let me be honest. First, I was on sabbatical because of finding patience, which was phenomenal. We always meet new, amazing people. But now it goes to another level where we're connecting with even more people. So this was probably the first finding patience was great. Won't take anything away from it, but this one, I really felt like I found a tribe. Okay. Then when we got back, we went on our sabbatical, which we always take July off anyway. And it just didn't feel right to return to Love is a Parable or Brother Empowerment because something felt like it had taken its cycle. It felt like it was restrictive. And the other thing is, there were some people that tried to steal the idea and run with it and do all of that. And it just wasn't even fun anymore.
Third thing that's a little like crowded.
Yeah. So we definitely going to tell you guys Thursday, just because we're doing Thursday this time, that doesn't mean that we will always have the next live will be on Thursday. We are actually selecting different days to do different things, and we're going to go out and connect with some of us. Like for instance, for those who had a chance to check out the intro video, that was actually on scene at Ramble Real, which we talked about, who is our season sponsor. We do encourage you to go out to their farm. I promise you, you will have fun. I got lost on their trail, and I loved it for like an hour and a half. I was just gone. You can see goats out there and the chickens. The pawpaws are out of season.
I haven't been on a real deal farm in years, and I would say it was a great experience.
I remember when you came and you said this is a real farm.
Yeah.
I was like, what did you think it was?
I didn't know. Really, I can't say what I think. This is a farm. Oh, okay.
One of the other things is that even down to the music, we wanted the music to be just like it used to be in our childhood, 80s, 90s, family matters vibe, and all of that, full house vibe. So even our other team sponsor is actually Idol Jack. So we're gonna get them on the show, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. So, bro, quickly, what are some things that really for like 3 months, for the last 3 months, what are some things that you've learned, you've done? What are your takeaways from the last 3 months?
Well, the first takeaway is that I really missed having that routine of Thursdays. Okay, I have work, I have to get something to eat, and then we're gonna go do a show. Having that being missing for several weeks and for a couple months or what have you was definitely interesting. So I noticed that there were a lot of things that I missed about the show. That was the first thing. Really just the connection, and also just being in the headquarters, and also really, man, just the fellowship. Everybody that really knows me a little bit knows how I like the fellowship. So that was one thing that I definitely missed too. So that was the first thing. The other thing was I learned about just um, dedicating time to things that matter to me. I got into the gym really, really heavy. So I may look a little different than the last time we did the show. Yeah, So it's hard to say. Those, I guess, it's the other thing would be just how much I was looking forward to the change. We had talked about this and come up with a few things, but some of the stuff we were freestyle. You know what I mean? So I was looking forward to seeing.
Oh, that ain't going nowhere. We still gonna freestyle now.
I mean, I'm not saying that we're not.
And I got bars.
I'm just
One,
saying
two, 1, 2.
that Brother Empowerment had it had a system, it had a formula, which worked. Don't get me wrong. With What's Up Family, it's a different system, and then there is a lot of freestyling to that as well. So I was looking forward to thinking about how is this going to go, what's the reception going to be like, and what. Because we're also not going to be with you guys every week. It's gonna be a little bit more spaced out.
Well, I think that's what I'm most excited about is the fact that we talk a lot about unity and inclusion is at the heart of everything that we do. This will truly make our show more inclusive. This will truly give us that opportunity to show you what the true love and comparable family is about. Like Darren and Jane is part of the love and comparable family, and there are a lot of things that we can learn from one another that I think just being in the studio all the time has robbed us of that opportunity to really do. The 3 months that we were away, I had an opportunity to really reflect on purpose, and I'm still reflecting on that. So I'm moving more towards like storytelling, learning from individuals, but I'm also moving more towards my spirituality. At first, I tried to keep it separate, and I can't talk about being organically you and keeping parts of ourselves concealed. And so my challenge is now is I'm taking all the barriers off because people have to know what authenticity looks like, but they also need to know that there are a lot of people that we can glean and learn from that are within our network. Now, when we went to the farm, you go ahead and shout out to people while we're doing it.
Yeah,
We already did Tara. We already did Deshaun, Ricky,
Jessica.
Hey, Jessica.
We got Brewski on.
Hey, what's going on, Rashia? Yep. I think that's Al.
That's Al Howard. Tara, what's going on?
Think about Purr. Okay, but yeah, at that farm, Rebel Real, something changed. And I could even say, like, in the opening, guys, one of the things that a lot of people didn't know is that what I did was call a lot of the people that were just close to Love and Comparable, part of the Love and Comparable family, and I said, let's just eat. So the food that they were preparing was organic, and the food was actually catered by Blackology Coffee.
Lori.
Yep, Lori Jones is the originator, the founder, the roaster, and all of that good stuff, and caterer. Master chef. Yeah. You literally just had a story.
You know what? I'm hungry. That's what it is. I'm hungry. So as soon as I was like,
so but yeah, but it was beautiful just to see everybody come together. My highlight was the kids play. And when I say the kids, I'm gonna say everybody that was like in their 20s and down. Because I'm old. Oh, I'm a grandpa. I'm a grandpa now. Yes. My eldest godson had a baby girl.
oh, congratulations.
And I'm a god happy.
Okay.
I'm that baby god happy.
That was one I was trying to do.
Yes, there's a child you don't know about. But no, that happened over the last 3 months. I became a god grandpappy. And I'm excited about it. We just made it up. We're going to go for it.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Well, I don't know what to call him god dad. I was just going to go with it.
Yeah. No, God happy. I like it.
I'm the baby's god happy.
Yeah. I like it. I never heard that. I like it. Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah, I am a god happy. But did something. Oh, the photographer who took all the new pictures, Ashley Williams.
Yes.
Man, and we had Alex Jones out there. We got other gentlemen whose name is escaping me, but it's in the video. We had so many people just coming together. Well, I'm so excited about coming together, doing bigger things, doing great things, but I'm also excited about providing education. So we're going to be providing education for so many different things that I think that you guys need, that we all need to have conversations about. And one of the things that is basically values, but also how to manage conflict.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Some people don't know how to manage conflict, don't know how to have opposition of opinions, have opposing opinions, but yet still come together. You can still be friends with a disagreement. You can still be friends in a disagreement. You can still be there to support one another, even though you're disagreeing. Just because you're upset about something, or just because you don't agree with something, doesn't mean you have to sever the relationship. Because it sounds like again. I don't know what's going on. It's like everything is trying to stop us from being great, and we're not gonna stop being great. I think I don't know. You know how it always happens with our first episode. They want to make that like this and that. Y'all hear it's okay now? Y'all hear it's okay now? Thumbs up. Y'all hear it's okay? Somebody. You want bass now? We ain't got no bass. Ain't no bass. Oh my God. It sounds like I don't know what that means. What about now? Like I said, that's how it's saying, man. I don't know what's going on. We're gonna have to get our sound people over here to check everything out to make sure things are going well. If y'all saying we still sound funny, I don't know. What about now?
I mean, I know my voice doesn't carry, so
But you know what? That's what I'm also mad. We got to get more equipment because when we move the equipment, it takes forever to get it right back set up. So how does it sound now? It sounds better now. Okay.
all right.
She said, "Oh, that's better."
Yeah. We just mess with a little bit of this and mess
Push,
with a little bit of
yeah,
that.
right. Push buttons, push buttons, push buttons. So one of the things that we kind of shied away from that we want to definitely do moving forward is, like we talked about, is conflict resolution. And a lot of people, even in the diversity, equity, and inclusion space, a lot of people don't know how to have those conversations. And now here's where I do take blame. I felt like it wasn't our place because there were organizations that were dedicated to that, and I felt like they needed to kind of focus on that. Whereas now it is our responsibility to have more healthy conversations around certain things and not just sit back and allow those things to happen. Okay?
Agreed.
And because we allow those things to happen, other things. So a couple of things that have happened since we were away. Queen Elizabeth transitioned.
She did.
And then she took Angela Lansbury with her.
Yeah.
Somebody else just transitioned too. They were all in their 90s. Who else transitioned? It was Angela Lansbury, Queen Elizabeth. I can't remember.
There's been a couple people, but as far as someone in their 90s, I don't remember.
Yeah, can't remember who it was. The other thing is speaking out about things. Like I'm big on body positivity,
Right.
and Lizzo has been under attack
Mhm.
twice.
Right. Well, she's literally almost always.
That's about 3 months we was.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
Because it was Aries 1st,
Mm-hmm.
and then Kanye.
Yep.
Yeah. One of the things that we will not tolerate, and we don't co-sign on, is anybody body shaming or anybody who is putting negativity out there. And this goes into conflict resolution and also goes into values. Just because you wouldn't do it doesn't mean that somebody else would and they're wrong for doing it.
Absolutely. That's actually a perfect way to put it, because I think a lot of folks, I won't say a lot, I don't like to say a lot. That's quite a few people's opinion that they go with in the beginning. And then when they're attacking her, or trying to degrade her or whatnot, is I wouldn't do that, or that's not right. Why is it not right? Because I wouldn't do it. Well, you're not the authority over what people should and shouldn't do.
Well, and let's explain. Like there are three things that love is a parable target.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever we're doing our education, Loretta Lynn.
Oh, okay.
That's who it was.
Definitely didn't know about that.
I'm gonna make you watch a Loretta Lynn movie.
Okay. Hey, Fernie.
Hey, well, you gotta do Greta too. Up there, up there, up there.
My bad, Greta. Hey.
Yep. So one of the things that we target three things in everything that we do. That is restrictive ideologies, limiting beliefs, and
assumptive thinking.
There you go, assumptive thinking. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to restrictive ideologies, most of the time, you guys, we are not aware of restrictive ideologies.
Yep.
They are ingrained into our cultural constructs so much that we just do them, not even realizing them.
Yep.
Some of the more familiar restrictive ideologies is we would tell young girls, go put some clothes on, somebody's coming over.
And tell young boys, don't cry.
Right. Those are restrictive ideologies. One of the other restrictive ideologies is just because you're big, that means you're unhealthy.
Yep.
Or just because you're big, that means you're unattractive. Mm-hmm. And those things are not true. So a lot of times when people say they won't do it, you won't do it because you've been conditioned not to do it, not necessarily because it's of importance or not.
Right.
So you don't know some of the things that you do restrictively because they're so ingrained in what you do.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have a person that goes against the traditional construct, we typically have a problem with it, but don't know why we have a problem with it.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we are going to challenge a lot of people on is to check your values. Check the things that you value and not necessarily the things that you're mindful of. We're talking about the things that you do and you don't know why you do it.
Yep.
Because some of us are connected to misery.
Oof. Yeah.
Like we are. We've been miserable for so long. The idea of happiness feels like fantasy.
Yep.
So we want to get to a place where we can have healthy conversations. And so the problem with Lizzo is she's going against the construct. Because she's big, she should be covered up.
Yep.
That is not how a lady should act.
Right. Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Felicia put one up. Click on hers.
Felicia said traditional mindsets, just like superstition, spitting on a broom just because someone swept over their foot.
Yep, they do that.
I've never heard that before.
You go to jail.
What?
If somebody sweep your feet, they'll say, give me that broom, they'll spit on it so they don't go to jail. I don't know why that's a superstition, but it is. There's a lot of them that are out there and people don't know why that they do them. And so you want to go around and check those things. It wasn't until I had daughters, I don't have sons, but I'm saying, well, I have my godsons, but it wasn't until I had daughters when I was like, I'm not telling them to put on clothes because somebody coming over.
Mm-hmm.
If I feel like somebody's an endangerment to them, they don't need to come over.
Yeah.
So it started me as a parent to question my judgment of who I would have around my kids. I didn't want my children to have insecurities about who they are.
Yeah.
She said, Franit says what?
Says,
or you won't get married if someone sweet. Ooh, I ain't heard that one before.
I've never heard that. Well, I've never heard the first one.
Where are you from, Franit? So that's interesting. I never heard that one before. But I'm gonna look them up.
Yeah.
Because I like learning stuff. As you learn about some of these cultural norms, you will begin to realize that you yourself do things that may not necessarily be that healthy. Henderson, okay. Who may not be that healthy, and it may be robbing you of opportunities of enjoying life.
Yep.
What are some restrictive ideologies you do? What did you used to do?
That I used to do. Man, I'm trying to pick one.
Throw all of them out there. Don't just pick one.
No, a restrictive ideology that I definitely followed was not saying anything that was deemed quote unquote offensive to elders.
Like just let elders say whatever they want.
Basically, not correcting elders, not calling them when they are disrespectful or just rude to you. And that's a very restrictive ideology because one, for quite a few reasons, but the main one in my mind being that, especially for younger people, it restricts or outright removes their agency over themselves or their voice that they have inside.
Yeah,
because you're telling them if this person, because of who they are and their age, they're above your boundaries and above respect in some cases.
And I'm honestly tell you that is one that's I know it's a cultural norm and a tradition. I get it in theory, but I still struggle with it because automatically, if a person is older, I do give them a pass. I'm like, they old.
Now, I'm not gonna say that I don't. But what I will say too is that in communities, people just because they've reached a certain age are automatically deemed elders. And I have said many a time that elder is a station that you have to earn. And so I think that's further muddies the thing, calling everyone that's older an elder, because some people are just older people who are disrespectful and don't have a lot of sense.
But do you give them, I'm asking you, do you give them the eldership first and take it away? Or is it something that you feel like they got to earn?
I feel like it's something they have to earn.
How do you know, like, by randomly saying somebody if they're an elder or not an elder?
I don't know.
Well, because let me tell you this. I don't know. I'm going to give old people, it's hard for me to disrespect an old person. I'm sorry, but that's probably, it's not a hill that I die on, but...
You'll get cut.
I'll get cut, probably because, let me tell you this. I was in Food Line and this little old man, he was so old, he was just leaning over. And he might not have been that old because, you know, some people age, a little differently. But he just walked on Food Line and he just farted. I mean, it was a loud fart. And he looked at me like I was wrong. And I said, I can't wait to be that age when you can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get to that age where I do whatever I want to do. And yes, I might be mean. And you're like, what you mean for? Because I'm old and I want to be.
Now, there's certain things that don't necessarily affect me like that. I'll just be like, I'm just gonna move and go this way. And I would probably have laughed. So I'm probably like, but it comes to, and when I talk of other things, I talk about like the interactions and direct, like I can't say I give older people a pass per se.
You do.
I'm
gonna say you do it. I'm you like, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so I do give older people a pass in some regard. Where I draw that line is once I feel like you've crossed the boundary or you've disrespected me, especially on purpose, I'm not going to let that slide just because you're older. I used to, now I don't, and I don't really care how old they are.
Yeah, it depends.
It never depends for me.
It depends for me.
Yeah. Because
we do give people passes like in our family. We be like, that's just them. We still do that when it comes to I think by the time like our kids, maybe our grandkids, they probably would be better at it. I think it's a little bit of that residue of like, ooh, you old, yes, ma'am. I think it's a little bit of that bite the tongue still left. You got a whole bunch of comments that They will give an example.
Let's see. All right.
Nope.
So, wait.
You're right.
No. Jessica, I didn't learn me something. My feet got swept all the time.
See how many times you've been to jail. Look, you married.
Ricky said, if you sit your pocketbook on the ground, you'll go broke. Now, I have heard quite a few women say, don't put my purse on the floor. None of that.
Mm-hmm.
Felicia said, forcing kids to hug people because it's seen as disrespect. Don't.
That's mine.
Yeah.
I feel like it started in the womb. You couldn't touch my wife's stomach, my ex-wife's stomach, because she was pregnant. You couldn't touch my kids unless my kids gave you permission.
Yeah. I know quite a few parents like that. I mean, you and your
stop forcing your kids to be on people. That's rape culture. I don't care what you say.
Yeah. What's up, Derek, man?
Hey, Mr. Mindset himself.
Yes, sir. He said, learn behaviors. We're brainwashed on so many levels. There you go. Mindset. Greta said, old and crotchety. Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to get there, too.
Tal said, true, Cordell. I forget what she was saying.
Oh, about what you were saying about old people and eldership.
He said, respect your elders. Use it as a way to understand you've learned, you've transcended, and their position is a reflection of their past. But we are the future.
Okay. And then she's like, yeah, you've been a bitch. Somebody gonna get you. Think about a young little, ooh, like I say jitterbugs, because I can't wait. A little jitterbug come up and come on, old man. Like my brother, he's 46 yesterday, turned 46 yesterday. And people call him Unc, and he look at it like he proud. Mm-hmm. But nobody called me Unc yet. Except my old behind God baby. He called me God Daddy.
He ain't got no salt and pepper popping.
I do look.
Yeah, you know what? If you gotta do that, it's not popping like that. See, that's why.
Salt and pepper's here.
We just said forcing kids to hug adults that reach out their arms because if they don't, it's viewed as being disrespectful. Don't force them to. This could influence kids to allow others/elders to manipulate them to doing whatever they want.
Exactly.
Yeah, I do agree.
I agree.
Jessica said, I give all older people respect off top, but I don't receive them all as my elder. If that makes sense. And that makes perfect sense.
I'm more like that.
Yeah. And I give everybody respect off the top. But yeah, I don't look at all older people as
you gotta work on fixing your face around them old people.
I will not.
You can't do that to them.
I will.
See, it's gonna come back on you.
I mean, let it.
You ain't got kids yet.
Nope. Bernie said, I had this conversation about elders with your uncle Marcus a couple weeks ago. How'd it go? Bernie, tell us how it went. Jessica said, very true, Felicia. My niece went through a phase where she would decline my hugs every time I asked. It stung, but I had to put my ego aside to let her learn it's okay to take ownership of her body. Context. She's 3. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. I love it.
Remember Leilani, we taught our children early on. Leilani was like 2 saying, I don't like hugs. Please don't touch me. I don't like kisses.
Yep. I can count on one hand the number of hugs I've gotten from Leilani. and I cherish all of them because I know they're not going to be there often. Jessica said, I've only been arrested, never in jail. Okay.
See, that's what happened, that broom. You should have spit on that broom. Notice she avoided the other.
Yep. Ricky said, I give the older crowd the benefit of the doubt. They've been through a lot of years. That's some heavy weight.
I like how he said older crowd.
Yeah. Ricky said, if you want your feelings hurt, ask Harper for a high five. Been there, done that. Won't do it again. Although, last time, I feel like I'm in a new club now. I got a hug and a high five. So I feel like I graduated or something.
Yeah, she look at me like I don't belong. And I'm okay with that.
But yeah, I think it's one thing, man, where, it's just again, and I think there's a popular line. Another restrictive ideology is people say that you have to earn their respect, and I think that is limiting because I think respect and human decency is something that shouldn't be rationed out, and I think that just it gives people a sense of entitlement that you have to I don't want to say perform for them, but you have to
Yep.
I mean, I guess that's the best way that you got to perform for them or do something to earn their respect. And I don't, that to me is restrictive because I don't think it should be that way.
No, I will honestly say that is one of my pet peeves. If I got to earn your respect, I don't want to be in your presence.
Right.
I can understand you can lose respect for a person, but respect should automatically be granted,
Mhm.
and they can lose it. But who are you to sit somewhere and say somebody got to earn your respect?
Yeah.
No, a dog deserves respect. Ooh, I sound like my grandma. Ooh, I just sounded just like my grandma. I sound just like.
Oh.
Yeah. Go. Oh, yeah.
Fernie said, I told him I respect my elders, but some of them flip off at the mouth, thinking because they're old, you aren't supposed to say anything, and God is still working on me. I agree.
Maybe I'm on delivery.
Man, I agree.
Don't be cussing old people out now.
I'm not
but
saying
you can say you disagree.
I'm not saying
because if you cuss out an old person, I'm gonna be highly upset with you.
You
might even be right, but I'm gonna say you don't cuss them.
I have never done that, and I don't plan to. I just don't give out too many. Oh, you're older passes. Like it's just even to people that I'm related to. I don't just because no. I don't care how many. I don't care if you just. I don't care if you've been in the club for 20 years. No, you're not gonna talk to me that way. No. Mm-mm. Sorry.
As long as you don't cuss them, don't be out here cussing these old people.
You
can say you disagree with.
What you say? Don't cuss them.
Don't cuss these old people. It's like it's limits to it. Like you can say like, yo, I can even say you can even say watch your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
But I have been in presence where I have seen some people get aggressively. And maybe the older person deserved it. It's just something in me, and I'm working on it. That's my restrictive ideology. I just feel like the approach to old people is a little different.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I am going to say this. I do believe that you can say how you feel about a situation.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to it, I think it's a certain way
mm-hmm.
to do it. Delivery is very important to me. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree.
You really gonna put that up there?
I mean, you know what? That's cool. That's fine. Yeah, I love Harper. Mr. Mindset himself says you can only lose my respect.
Yeah.
Greta said agreed.
We'll know she agreed.
Yeah, we don't know.
I'm gonna say she agreed with me.
Hey, you know what? Because I agree with you. So I'm gonna say that too. Felicia said, so there's always a debate on whether the woman should fix the man's plate first or the kid's plate first. What are your thoughts? Because my son will eat first. I'll let you go first because you have children. Then I'll get to the rest of the comments.
The truth of the matter is, now I do believe that I think it's based on one's dynamic because I get where it comes from.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's based on one family's dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. I think it's honorable. When I was married, my wife would fix my plate.
Mm-hmm.
It was an honorable thing, but we all eat together.
Right.
So I don't care about the order in which who gets their plate because we're going to sit down and say our prayer and we eat together.
Yeah. No.
So that's my thing on it, and it depends. Now, like if we're at a public event,
mm-hmm.
them babies eat first.
Yep.
If we're in a home, it's whoever feels that. Like if I cook, I would fix my spouse's plate first and fix the kids' plate, and we all sit down because we all gonna eat at the same time, so It don't matter. So that's really how I feel about it.
I don't have children, but I feel the same way. I was brought up in a household where my parents took turns serving each other and serving the kids, but the kids always ate first or were served first, and then we ate together and they handled that. But like you said, bro, we all ate together at the same time. So I don't really care. And I'm not gonna care because to me, the children matter the most. So if anybody's gonna eat first, it's gonna be them. But I prefer we all eat together. That's really what it's all about to me. I've seen that argument 8,000 times.
But it all depends. And like some people, it's so many different reasons why some people do that. Like those who are more scripturally based, it's really because a man and his wife, they can honor one another. Yeah. Like they literally can proxy for one another, but you can't proxy for your children. Mm-hmm. Even though in society it teaches you that you can, but from a scriptural and spiritual context, you can't. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of people don't understand that. And so that's where it comes from. And typically the man was out working, and so he was coming home.
Yeah.
And so the first thing he wanted to provide him was that meal, whereas the family traditionally was already home, so they didn't have snacks and all of that. They not starving like the father was traditionally, who was out. But things have changed now, where you have both people who are working, and both people approach to things are totally different. So it's definitely relationship by relationship. And here's where I want to clarify: if you get with a person who feels one way or another, that shouldn't be a deal breaker.
Right.
So if you get with a man and he said, no, I feel like you should fix my plate, be open to understanding. Don't be so closed-minded in saying, oh, you selfish, you this, you that, and that. People have values that come from different places. And a lot of times we assume our value is somebody else's value, and our rejection of a value is because of something else you may not fully know about a person's value. Be open to having that conversation and decide what works best for your relationship moving forward.
At the very minimum, be open to having the conversation. Jessica said, I have snapped in checkout lanes at the store if the clerk is rude to an elderly person. I get that, because I have a problem with people being rude in an unsolicited way to a person that's elder just because they can. Like, so and it's extremes. Don't let them walk all, be rude to you, but don't be rude to them just because they may not be able to defend themselves like they were if they were 10, 20, 30 years younger.
Yeah, I agree. And I tell people, like, you're being rude, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know what I mean?
Because I feel like I'm in that age group where I can say stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm almost at the age group where I can fart in public.
Bro, if we ever, man. Jessica said, she also said, I'm not above arguing with a stranger. Pray for me. I mean, depending on the occasion, I'm not either. So, yeah. They might as well pray for both of us. She said, I'm going to make my plate first, but I have no husband or children, so don't take my advice.
Because people swept your feet.
Mr. Ryan said, whatever understanding you have for your whatever understanding you have for your situation or relationship. Jessica said, Fernie said, I agree with Felicia. I always would feed my kids first. Now I will say I fixed all the plates at once, but I served the kids first. No one received the plate until all plates were fixed. I like that.
That's about the same.
Yeah. I like that. Tara said, I'm going to call everyone. Whoever shows up is first up. Take too long, I'm first. Seriously, everyone is not hungry at the same time. I don't force food. It's available. I like that too. That's dope.
And that's like nearly 30 years of marriage right there.
Yeah. Big tenure. Big dog status.
I don't even think I got a good 30 left. 30 more. Yeah, I got 30 more years.
I'd
be 70. 70.
I got as many years as I have because I'm only doing it once. So, yeah. Fernie said, I had no idea Jay and I was the same age. Because neither one of y'all look your age. Neither one of y'all do, and that's what I just love about y'all.
Here go my little brother. That's my little brother. Y'all been not saying that to him. That's my little brother.
Terrell, so he said, "Are we feeding the man or the husband?" Okay, just go add that. Just add that spice in there. Okay.
And I'm bringing in his religious.
You know what I'm saying?
What if they're, you know what?
And he just came in mic drop. Hey, look, are we feeding the man or the husband? Drop. Y'all think on that.
And then it's gonna be somebody say, "Well, my man is my husband." But I think the bigger issue is not necessarily the application, is the lack of understanding why it's taking place.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know what they do. So, for instance, I was just talking to one of my friends today. A single parent is naturally in a position to think of their children first.
Right.
If they haven't had that luxury of having a spouse, a spouse fitting into their current dynamic may be tough.
Yep.
Be like, well, it's been us. I don't know. Whereas you have some people who do have traditional values, like, I've always waited to have a man, and I do want to do these things for him. So it all depends on where those things coming from. And you may have a man who's like, yo, don't fix my plate first.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes me feel uncomfortable. So I say we got to really get to a place where we're okay with having conversations around the thought process, not necessarily the application, because there's so many different reasons why so many different people do so many different things at one time. Like, for instance, my Food Lion up the street from my house have better produce than Publix, Lowe's, and Harris Teeter. But it's just that Food Lion.
Mm-hmm.
When I go venture off to another Food Lion, it is not the same.
They ain't like that.
All Food Lions are not, but that Food Lion, the produce is always amazing. I'm like, does the truck stop here first? Like, what is it? So if I go to certain places, like people like, I swear by Publix, all Publixes are not great to me.
Yep.
Publix, for the most part, have been wonderful, but I'm going to that Food Lion. Don't get my produce from nowhere else.
It's because it's the Fuqua.
I don't know what that is. Because we got 3 of them in this area.
Yeah.
But only that one is the one that get it.
Mm.
Okay.
I'll get.
Hey, Christine.
Oh, my bad. Christina, what's going on? She said communication is so important. Agree.
And if you need your locks done, go check her out. Love
Yes.
Jones.
Felicia said, should a woman pump gas while the man sit in the car sometimes, or is it a requirement for the man to pump gas every single time while riding together? Gender roles. What are your thoughts? So I'm gonna say this thing, and then I'm gonna get to that. So I will say too, folks, to piggyback on what Jay was saying about having a conversation about a value and not automatically rejecting it. Having the conversation and explaining your thought process and your value can save you a lot of grief and promote a lot of understanding. Some people, and this is a pet peeve of mine with people, some people think they're above explaining themselves or giving a detailed explanation. And that is a pet peeve of mine, because those same folks will want to be understood, but don't want to promote or facilitate the understanding. They just want what they want, kind of like an authoritarian. And you save yourself a lot of grief if you really just talk about things like Jay was saying and have a conversation.
I'm a judger.
Why?
If I ever pull up at a Sheetz, because that's probably the only gas station I go to, and I see Rashia pumping gas and you sitting in that passenger seat,
hey,
you might get slapped upside the head.
I'm gonna be sitting there like this, eating a Milky Way Dark.
I'll throat punch you. Me, Felicia, I think that if a man and a woman is together, me personally, I feel like the man should be pumping the gas. I do believe in traditional roles. I don't necessarily believe in gender roles, and I explain it. Like, I don't think, like, for instance, there's some women who are just better at like gardening, landscaping, and all of that.
Yeah, because my Brewski is one of them.
So it may be a dynamic there, but when it comes to like gas, like
trash.
getting groceries, trash, for some strange reason, those are hills I'm willing to die on. I'm like, you better not. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's that's
but you better not ever.
No, and that's one thing that
I call Uncle Marcus too.
Yeah, and he'll get y'all. Both y'all be getting together at the same time. And she'll call my mom, and it will be all bad.
I'm gonna take a picture and put it on Facebook. You'll be like, look at this. Look at this.
No, I agree with Jay in that regard. I'm not a super traditional or gender roles type person, but I do believe, like Jay said, that there are some roles that are just there's the way they are for a reason. And I think that I'm always gonna pump the gas. Like unless I'm just like, I don't know, super sick to the point where I just can't do anything. And even then, I'm gonna still try. But I'm gonna pump the gas. I'm gonna take out the trash. I'm gonna bring in the groceries. I'm going to just all that stuff. But no, she's never gonna pump gas while I'm present. So
good to know.
You'll never get the chance to take that picture and put it on Facebook.
I will throat punch you. Hey, my sister-in-law.
What's up, Bianca? Bianca said, let's see. Mel had to get acclimated to me serving him his plate. I grew up in a home where daddy was served first, then me and my brother, then my mom. We had no issues with it. Daddy worked hard, He deserved his plate first in my eyes.
That's my sister-in-law. Now,
Yeah.
Bianca is very much a traditional, like, she should have been born in the 50s. Because my sister-in-law need the bonnet and all of that. You know, the little apron. What you want me to do? That is so her, and it is. And she's like that. Her level of hospitality, too. Like, the very first time I met her, I felt like I went back in time. Because she needs to have one of them little tutu with the tulle dresses and the apron on. That's what she needs, because that is really her. And I could see because, well, you know what? Our stepmom is like that too. Like, they're so nice, you think it's fake until you realize, like, you like this all the time?
Yeah.
That is really my sister-in-law. Yep.
Yeah, that's dope. What's up, Bianca? Christina said, I hate pumping gas, so I would like my mate to pump all the time. I don't mind driving.
We know. That's that.
Yeah, if you drive back and forth to up north. So, yeah, I know you don't mind driving.
Be like, how long this car been on E? I don't know.
Hey, I just been driving.
Come pick me up because your car broke down while I was trying to get gas.
She-Hulk, it came out, Brewski said it won't happen. He takes my car and fills it up, but that's what works for us.
She said it won't happen.
It won't. It won't. It won't. Ricky said, ladies, if y'all pumping gas, take that trash out too and kill them spiders and bugs. I'm on the men pump gas train. Yeah, I'm not like, and I feel you, Jay, bro. When I see like an able-bodied man and like his ladies out there just like pumping gas, even though women, I'm not trying to take anything away from women. If you want to pump your gas, please, by all means, do you. But I just feel some like way when a dude is like,
yep, I'm a judge him. I'm judging everybody. Now, I'm different now when it comes to the kids. Now, don't be having them young boys out there pumping gas too soon. Show them how to do it, because some of them are too young, whether you think they're old enough or not.
Yeah.
Them fumes, and sometimes that they can spill stuff. So I'm very safe. Yeah. Just be careful with that. Now, a grown, rusty man, yeah.
She-Hulk said, I'm not taking out trash, but again, we talked about who does what in this house.
She said this house.
Yeah. That's true. We did. Felicia said, I never pump my gas unless I'm alone and on E. And I think that's
wise.
Yeah. Freddie said, I hate pumping gas. I'll be looking for somebody's man to pump my gas. I don't care if the store clerk come pump it. Oh, shoot.
This just made me love her.
Yeah.
I can picture somebody. Excuse me.
Yeah. Excuse me, no, I don't want him. Can he pump my gas?
Hey, girl. Can you pump her? Who is he to you? Sir.
Okay, for nigga, I hope you know I'm never letting you live this down. Ever.
Oh, I love that.
Bianca Brown, she said so true. I'm not sure who you.
Because of how she acts.
Oh, okay. Tara said, I know something is wrong. I don't have these lines. Bianca said, hey. Jessica said, I do all the things now, but I had to learn that. My sister and I used to get in trouble for pumping gas, opening the door, etc. My dad would flip. On a date once, I sat in the passenger seat, and he was halfway inside. Yeah, man.
You coming back for me?
Hey, you know what? Like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's now. Yeah, there. Yeah, and I get it, because my dad always taught me to open doors for your lady, and so like She-Hulk knows, even if we just going down the street to the grocery store, and it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter what we're doing. When she gets to the car door, she don't open it. She stops, and I come and open it, and she gets in. Sometimes if she mad, she'll open it, but that's rare.
Let me tell her business. You know that's what I'm thinking about. Now, do you do this? Because this how it was. Did you automatically drive? Do you feel like a man is supposed to drive? That's like twofold.
I don't. I think.
I do.
I don't know. I think because I'll always offer first. But I don't automatically think that I'm supposed to drive. But I think the not supposed to drive is extenuating circumstances. Like if you drive all day for a living, you drive dump trucks, or you're a sanitation engineer, or you work for FedEx or UPS, I know that getting after that, you probably don't want to drive anymore. So you like, man,
I still a side eye.
yeah,
Yeah, I still a side eye. I'm sorry.
I got you.
You know what it is?
What?
We believe in chivalry,
Yeah,
but not chauvinistic.
right, and that's perfect because I will drive 90% of the time. The only time I really don't want to drive, but I still will, is if it's long distances over 4.5 hours. I just it just does something to my soul, and that's because when I moved to North Carolina, I drove from coast to coast, and I told myself it scarred me. I'll never do it again. Anything close to it, I'll never do it again.
I still judge you if I see Rashida driving. I'm judging.
Hey, if I tell you we're going to DC and you happen to video chat us and she's driving, that's why.
And I'm telling you, I'm judging.
And I'm okay with that.
No, it's going to be on Facebook.
I'm okay with that.
I'm different. Fernita.
Fernita said, but if I see a guy that's sitting there while a woman is pumping, I instantly think scrub. Throw him away because she probably paid for it too.
That's how I feel.
Ricky said, nope, I'm going to take that away from women. My wife will not embarrass me. I would have climbed the seat back so far. You going to be incognito, Ricky, bro? he said, nobody's going to know I'm even in here.
I'm judging.
Right. Cordell has to drive because he has to speed. He gets lazy on Sundays.
Oh, you don't speed on Sunday?
I mean, I ain't going to say that.
I don't know. After experiencing 85, you'll lie.
I mean,
maybe you speed less.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it. I mean, but yeah.
Have you seen that TikTok where the dude was like, when you driving, the far left lane is for people who got speeding ticket money.
Yep. It's for people who got ticket money. Hey.
If you ain't got no ticket money, get out this lane.
Yeah. Oh, and I think an exception would be for the men. The men driving depends on whose car too. Like y'all in a relationship and y'all married, I think that's one thing. But if y'all are in that still getting to know each other stage or whatnot, definitely think a asking or whatever is, like.
No, I just feel it. No.
Yeah.
Let me get keys.
Keys, please.
Oh, we're driving your car? Keys. I don't know. I just feel that way. But you know what? I find that I do sometimes too. Because even my girls, they're 11 and 13. They're fully capable of like carrying their bags in. I be carrying their bags, their groceries, everything. I be carrying all of that stuff. I don't know why.
No, I'm
that way, and I'm like the kids be like, Dad, I can. Oh, I guess you can. I don't know.
I mean, I feel that because two of our good friends that live in DC, Ari and Daisha, whenever we go see them and they have groceries and stuff, I get all their stuff, and they are two fully capable grown women. And I'm just like, no, I got the groceries. They're like, so you just gonna carry out? Yep, I'll come back and get it.
Got to, and you gotta have. I don't know how we do it, but we can carry a lot of bags with these fingers.
Yeah, we can. Let's see. So Jessica said, I make all male humans in my life drive except for my grandpas. They're 86, so they get a pass.
I can see that.
Yeah, I can see that. But she gonna say she drives on Sunday. I mean, we only go to like 2 places on Sunday. So
you make her drive.
I don't make her do anything.
You make her drive on Sunday.
If we go to Henderson, I'll usually drive. But if we go somewhere else, maybe. It depends. It's like 50-50. Don't say you always drive on Sunday, but you got people looking at me crazy.
93%.
98% of the time I drive on Sunday.
But you 93%. You 7% scrub.
Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, hey, look.
7%. Don't get the 10.
What's up, Deshaun, bro?
Hey, Deshaun.
Deshaun said the definition of chivalry has changed over the past 20 years. It also depends on your geographical location. The West Coast is a different beast. Boy, I mean, I'll say that because some of the stuff I saw out there that some of these men's do, woo! Some women's and men in the South would be like, I would never, and it better not ever happen.
But I can honestly say it also depends on where the male is from. Because when I go like to New York, and even when I go out west, they're like, where you from?
Yeah.
They love the fact they're like, he's so southern and nice. So they do. I don't know. It depends.
Yeah, I think a lot of it depends.
Yep.
Tremel said ticket money, yes, sir. Yep. Tara said this is interesting as she sips her coffee or tea. Fernique said, now I like to drive when we go somewhere. Not saying I don't trust him or his driving, but because I trust me, if that makes sense.
She want a pocket man. You like, you just pop out when I need you. Get back here, nobody needs you.
Pump gas. Okay. Fernie also said women are better drivers anyway. I mean, I don't know about that, but you know, She-Hulk said, "Is it really 93%? You know, counting isn't your strong point." You know what? We about to block you. Anytime to go, bro.
It actually is, but this has been amazing.
Ricky said, Latrice gets motion sick in the car if she isn't driving, so she drives. I'm not like CG making my woman drive for no good reason. I don't make her drive.
No, he trying to get don't give him no pass. He deflected. Oh, you took the bait. Don't take the bait.
Motion sickness, huh? Really, Ricky?
So he like a good 50, 53.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him 60%.
Yeah, because he do take care of the kids, so that kind of brought him up.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll give you a pass. You're at 60%.
Yeah.
Don't get to 50.
Because
it's over.
Yeah, you need an intervention at that point.
Brother, disempowerment.
Word. Jessica said, this is very true. It's ghetto out here. Pray for us. I grew up in Cali, but raised by Southern folk, and I simply cannot. I mean, yeah. I hear the stories and seen some of the stuff.
But you know what, though? I can honestly say, because, like, I got friends on all the coast, even international friends, but I have not heard definitely any female say that she wanted something that other females didn't want. It was never anything like weird.
Yeah.
So I feel like collectively, you know, there are certain things we all do look for. Now, trusting that people will provide it may cause people to feel a different way.
Right.
But I feel like collectively, a lot of us are looking for similar things.
I think so too. I definitely think so.
Yeah, we gotta go anyway.
Alicia said, enjoy the dialogue. Trimester, love y'all boys.
Love you too, brother.
Love you too, man. Ricky said he's about to take the whole bait.
Whole bait.
Yep. Yeah, Jay stopped me because I definitely was, hook, line, and sinker. You almost got me.
Wow. Bro, this has been amazing. You got to get ready. Go to the brand. Yep. So, this has been amazing.
It has been.
Guys, this is what you're going to expect. You don't know what we're going to be next. We're definitely going to be interviewing some of our amazing people.
Yeah, this is going to be an amazing.
I didn't know that was what you were going to do.
Hey, I
had to come back around.
This is going to be just an amazing experience, and really we can't wait to really just keep on keeping on with y'all. Like, this is literally and figuratively the beginning.
What's up, family?
What's up, family?
And we out.
Bye. See y'all whenever we see y'all next time.